do this watercolor heart painting, I'm going to use a thicker watercolor paper, some masking tape, some wax paper, and some watercolor paints. I use the Shinhan Pro watercolor paints. I'm also going to need a pencil. I'm going to begin by taping down my paper. That way when I get it wet, it will not wrinkle. And it'll help the paint not puddle up in places too. The great thing about this project is it shows you kind of this magic trick that you can do with the wax paper. And it also focuses on negative painting, which is a great skill to use when working with watercolor. And then it also can teach about values, so the difference from light to dark and how to kind of build up those layers in watercolor. So a lot of great skills that we can look at while we are doing this. So I have about a little less than 1/2 inch of my paper edges covered in tape. And now I'm drawing a couple hearts on my picture. I'm starting off with 3. I have 2 larger ones and 1 smaller one. And it doesn't really matter where you put them on the paper. I've got my wax paper ready. And now I'm going to go ahead and start painting. Now, I'm working in a color scheme. I want to do blues and greens, so I'm going to try to stick with colors that are kind of similar on the color wheel that are next to each other. And I want to make sure to get my paper really wet in the area that I'm painting. And then I want to try to drop in a lot of color so that it's nice and rich. And then while it's wet, it's very important to put on the wax paper. And as you can see, I'm putting different strips of it to cover up the different areas of the wet paint. So you can kind of rip it until it covers all of the sections. I'm going to go ahead and fill up another section with wet paint, trying to keep it nice and moist, adding water so that it doesn't dry before I can add wax paper on. And I'm just kind of ripping some strips and making sure that my wet area is covered. You may have to kind of push it down in the middle to make sure that all of the sections of the wax paper are touching the wet paint. Now, as I move across my paper, I want to get into some of the greens. So I'm going to go ahead and add some blue to this section, but then I'm also going to dip my brush into some green paint so that it's kind of transforming from one color to the next. This works well with colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, as I said before. For example, I would not have it go from blue to orange because then we might get browns, unless you want browns in yours. So I was thinking of doing either blue to green or blue to purple, and I thought that would look really nice in this one. And turquoise is actually my favorite color, so I figure blue to green would give me some turquoise colors in there too. So I did a bigger chunk here, and I just wanted to show you can use a larger piece of tissue paper, just making sure that you press down so that it has a contact with all of the different parts of the paper. Now, probably one of the hardest things about this project is waiting for paint to dry, and unfortunately in between every level or layer that we do, we have to let the paint dry. So I've waited out and now the paint has had a chance to mostly dry. There's still a couple little wet areas, and I can take the tissue paper off and you can see what a cool effect the wax paper had on the watercolor to leave those little wrinkle marks and all of that. Just super cool. This technique works great when painting rocks too. If ever I'm doing a rocky painting, I like to use this effect. All right, now I can still see my hearts that I originally drew I can see the pencil lines showing through the paint. So what I'm doing next is I'm going over right by those pencil lines, painting right around them, and I'm using just a little bit more pigment or paint on my brush so that it's a little bit darker than the paint that's already on my paper. And that way it makes the heart look like it's popping out of the background. So I'm starting by being super careful right next to the edges, and then I kind of work the paint away from my heart so that the heart is popping out, as you can see. And this is called negative painting because I'm painting the negative space around my shape, which would be the positive space. It's a great technique. You can use it to paint leaves or grasses. A lot of times I do negative painting to show grass that's in front of something. There's really all kinds of ways you can use this technique in art. I'm doing the same thing for this heart, but notice this one I'm using a little bit more of the blues because I'm getting more into the blue section. I'm just trying to make it a shade darker than the background because I will be going darker again with another layer. So I don't want to get too dark right away, but I do want my paint to be darker than my original background color. So I'm being super careful next to the edge, and then I can kind of bring the paint away from the edge and kind of go lightly over the background. What's nice too is if this next layer is thin enough, you should still be able to see some of the cool textures that the wax paper made through the thin layer of paint. And we don't want to completely get rid of those textures because it's such a cool effect. Going ahead and painting around my third heart as well. Now, if you don't want to do hearts, you can always pick another shape to do. Maybe you're into sports and you want to do some type of sports shape, or maybe you like flowers or leaves. I've done this in the fall where I start with a couple leaves and then I keep painting around them to add more to those as well. I switched to a bigger brush and now I'm just kind of filling all of the rest of the area around the hearts, since I don't have to be as careful with these sections. And again, once I finish this layer, there's that downtime where I have to let the paint dry before I can do the next section. If I try to paint the next section and the paint is still wet, then it'll just bleed into whatever I'm painting. So I have to be kind of careful and let that dry. All right, it's dry to the touch. Now I'm going to draw some more hearts with my pencil, and I'm doing some that go off the page. I'm doing some in the middle, but notice I'm actually having them go behind the hearts that I already have. So I'm making sure that my lines don't cross over into my hearts that are already there, but instead go behind those hearts. So I'm really adding a lot this time because I want to kind of fill up some of the space with some other hearts. And for this step, I'm now going to go around my second group of hearts. And then I'm also staying behind my first set of hearts as well. So anywhere that you have a heart, either my light ones or my medium shade ones, I'm going to paint around them with yet another shade of watercolors to get my values a little bit darker. You can see I'm being very careful by my edges and then just kind of bringing the color away. And as I add this layer, the darker I add the layers, the less we get to see that wax paper effect. So it gets kind of covered up or muted. You can still make it out a little bit, but not as much as the light layers. As I move from the left side to the right side of my paper, I'm trying to get more from the blues into the greens. I'm using a round brush because it has a really nice point to get some of the smaller areas or the more defined lines, and then I can use the side of it if I want a larger area to be painted in. So you can see as I am doing these outlines here, you can see my next layer of hearts kind of popping out. They're a little bit darker than my first layer of hearts, but now that I am painting around them, the negative space, they are popping out from the background. It's really such a cool effect once you get the hang of it. So I'm finishing up this layer, and I want to again make sure I leave time for it to dry. If you're doing this at home and you have a hair dryer, sometimes it's nice to use that. You can just blow dry your painting, and that can speed up your drying time. All right, now that my paper is dry, I'm going to add one more layer of hearts behind all of the other hearts that I have so far. So I'm just kind of picking areas. I'm kind of trying to keep them big so that I don't have as much background to fill in. And then I'm going to go ahead and mix my darkest of darks to go behind my last layer of hearts. So this is the part that doesn't have any hearts on it at all, and I want to make it nice and dark so that my last layer of hearts pops through. So there probably won't be as many areas for me to paint in because there are already so many hearts on my picture. Now I'm sure you could do even more layers especially if you make your heart smaller. If you want to get really crazy, you could probably do 5 or 6 or 7 layers. I usually like to do around 4. It usually is enough for me to show the different values. You could even leave a heart completely white if you wanted to do that as well. So you can really kind of stretch out this exercise into lots of layers if that's your thing. But it's such a fun technique, and it really has such a cool layering effect, giving depth to your painting, as you can see here. So I hope you've enjoyed working on this with me. I hope that you think this is a cool effect as well. And yeah, it's such a great method to show that layering. It's fun to use the wax paper, so all kinds of cool stuff that you can do with this project. As I take the tape off, I'm making sure to pull directly away from my picture, not even just straight up. I try to pull it kind of at an angle so that I don't rip my paper. And there you have it, a masterpiece. Thanks for painting with me today, guys. Have an awesome day.